Hello Gemini, this is your general monthly reading for the month of September 2016. And I've already shuffled the cards and I've laid them out. And I have an interesting kind of spread here, a lot of different messages. There are a few that kind of stand out to me that may resonate with some of you. I'm hearing that some of you are forced to work with somebody who you have been romantically involved with. And it's sort of like you are trying to move on past sort of the relationship or the breakup or the hardship. And but simultaneously you're also you're also required to work very, very, very hard, and you're trying to perfect your skill, and you're really trying to showcase your work. You're trying to network. You're trying to be, that best person at work. You're really striving for something in your career right now. But for some reason, either there's a person dragging you down and it's affecting your career a little bit, or the challenge is that, you need to move past something that's emotional, and take a more passive stance, kind of watch how things go as you're working really hard, as you're trying to make progress in other areas of your life. And if it is a person that if you are somebody who has to work with a person you were in a relationship with, this person may be a water sign, and they may even be in a position of power at your work. So they may even be your boss. Doesn't have to be, but they may be, and they're kind of watching you work, or they're in your environment. You know that they're watching you, but at the same time you're not just working, you're also trying to move on. You're also trying to let something go. And that can be very challenging for you. But good job, Gemini, because I'm getting from the cards that you are doing fantastically. I mean, even though it's difficult, yeah, it's a challenge, but you're I'm hearing like rhythmic effort, like consistent effort, not allowing your emotions to get to you. I'm hearing that you guys have your eyes on the prize, even though it might seem very depressing and hopeless at times. You're working really hard, so that is a good thing. And it's saying that new ideas, new opportunities are coming, and even new romantic interests may be on their way as well. So that's good. And for your outcome, it's saying that you're going to achieve, everything that you want to achieve on the emotional front. So whatever you're doing right now, Gemini, whatever this tunnel vision is, where you're working hard and you're not letting any sort of residual emotions get to you, that is definitely taking you to the right place. So this is a very positive reading, Gemini. Very positive reading. It's saying some of you, for some reason, is telling a story that in the distant past, and it may or may not be related to this romantic situation, you felt kind of like you couldn't be yourself so much anymore. You couldn't be this kind of bubbly, social sort of butterfly, and you've had to, either you yourself or somebody really made you feel trapped, and you weren't really in your element. So now it's all about kind of getting away from that, and it's through your work, through what you care about, through what you're passionate about, that you are going to unleash yourself and get out of this situation. Or at least that's what That's what I'm seeing here. So, then we also have here, in your immediate future, you're going to stop worrying so much about the consequences of everything with this situation. It's saying that you will achieve a place where you don't have to be so on guard, and you can relax a little bit more about your own. I feel like there may be this sense of like lack, sort of like you lack something, like either you lack money or you are tired or whatever it is. It feels like you may feel like your wealth has been stripped away, or it's being stripped away. It's sort of like you kind of feel like you're constantly having to be like a hamster in a wheel, working really, really hard to maintain this sense of wealth. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financial wealth. It could be, wealth with your health, or wealth with, your emotions, or your status, like your social status. And it feels like, it feels like the cards are encouraging you to naturally start letting go of those fears and those anxieties, because at the end of the day, you do, the universe is looking out for you. You are on the right track. And you don't need to be this greedy, and I'm sorry, that sounded a little bit offensive. By greedy, I mean, you don't need to be so anxious about your status, is what I'm getting. And it's saying that in the immediate future, you will be able to let go of these fears. So the cards are encouraging you to do that. And in the recent past, again, this might be linked to this person who you either work with or is affecting your work, or who you've recently broken up with. There's been some instability in a partnership. It could even be a marriage for some of you, in a commitment of some sort. And I'm getting maybe that even the conflicts surrounding this partnership were around money. Maybe I'm even getting for some of you again, a story where both you and your partner had to either work together, or you both have very similar jobs or very similar careers, similar passions, and there was some competition, and then an opportunity presented itself to one of you, and judgment came about, and somebody gained an opportunity, and it caused an instability in the partnership. And it caused the other person, whoever did not gain this opportunity, to become bitter and sour and become jealous. And it kind of just really rocked the foundation of the relationship. So I'm definitely hearing that finances could have had something to do with why a relationship didn't work out, or it is not working. And definitely I'm hearing from the cards that if there is a relationship that is not working at the current moment that has to do with a financial matter, I think the cards are encouraging you to let this partnership go and focus on your career. Don't pay attention to this manipulation or this jealousy that's coming from your partner. The situation is such that whatever this opportunity is, jealousy should not be getting in the way. So the ego needs to be tamed a little bit here in order to make a partnership work, and it's a two-way street. And if the other person is not going to do that, you need to allow the relationship to end. If something is on the verge of ending, I think the cards are encouraging you to finish it off in a way, is what I'm hearing. For factors affecting your situation, we have the 10 of Pentacles reverse and the 5 of Cups. So again, I'm hearing for a lot of you anxiety surrounding the practical matters of your life, or or even for some of you, the more egotistical side, the shallow side of things. So your social status, or how well recognized you are, or how much money you have. And then for some of you, it could be even more of a deeper concern, that the feeling that you're never going to achieve that sort of like family you want, and that partnership that you want, and the wealth that you want. And it could be linked to this relationship that's not working or hasn't worked, and you're deeply, deeply, deeply saddened by this relationship, or by your situation. Basically, the instability in your life and the feeling of financial lack of some sort, or feeling like you're always having to scramble, is really causing you some it's causing you to feel sad, hopeless, and you just feel like no matter how hard you try, there's new things to cry about. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I'm getting. And so, but I feel like these things should not really, I know it's very hard, but try not to let these things kind of take over your mind to the point that you feel completely chained, and mental and depressed. So don't let it get there. For your external influences, again, I'm just feeling that you guys are maybe over, like, feeling like having everything at stake all the time is really burning you out, and that you're carrying a really big burden. I'm also hearing for some of you who are in relationships or have just recently come out of a relationship, I'm hearing that one of the prominent sort of flaws in this partnership was that one of you was willing to be vulnerable and having to always keep your guard down. So one person in the relationship was always the one saying, you know what, it's fine, I'm going to take my ego out of this situation. I'm going to allow myself to be vulnerable. I'm going to allow myself to be the better person. And the other person, and that whoever was doing that was also carrying all the weight in the relationship. So there was this imbalance, and that has definitely influenced you a lot. And I feel like this feeling of maybe some of you who are feeling financially inadequate, or a lack of some sort in your life, and you're anxious about it, the cards are saying that lack actually has a lot more to do with that past emotional situation with this person. And you're not looking at your financial situation objectively. You're actually in a better place than you are. You're just really tired emotionally. So it's kind of bleeding and leaking into other areas of your life. But just keep in mind that once you are over this situation, and once you've given yourself the rest that you need, you are going to understand that you actually, things are working for you. Some of you are still hoping for a reunion or rekindling of this relationship, and but at the same time, you're worried that you're going to be just waiting forever, and you're kind of conflicted, because you want things to happen with this person, but at the same time you're like, well, I can't wait forever. Like, I want a real connection with somebody who is going to make the effort on their own, and who's not going to allow their ego to get into the way. But again, your final outcome is great. There's a lot of offers that are going to be coming your way, both in career and in your love life. And you're going to get re-inspired. So this burden that you're feeling now, as long as you keep focusing on letting go, you are going to become inspired again. You're going to come back into your element. New things are going to come your way. So I'm seeing some challenges, but any cards that are related to your outcome positions look incredibly positive. So I don't think there's very much to worry about. I think keep doing what you're doing. Don't allow these anxieties surrounding money or your status or anything like that get in the way. And don't allow this person, whoever is watching you or whoever you feel is still in your midst, especially if there's somebody at work, to put pressure on you. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about how they see things. And at the end of the day, you're going to come out on top. So that is your reading, Gemini. Thank you very much, and check back again for your October reading. Thanks. Bye.